So, do you think so?
I'm a very I can be very personable. Like I'm friendly. I like to joke around and stuff like that. And it was just a really stressful day for everybody where we sat in a room for 8 hours doing some assessment that I really
That
thought was unnecessary. Um, so like we were all just like kind of existing afterwards
mm-hmm.
and having conversations. And I was just, you really remind me of Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. And that's not a great character to be
Oh,
compared to, but
yeah.
she looks exactly like her.
Okay.
So I was just joking, and like
Right.
everybody like was also like, yeah, I can totally see it. And she was just mildly triggered by this comparison, but
Okay.
I was just
So,
changing the subject.
so you said that you're stressed, that you are kind of stressed out about feeling unprepared for your internship.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
does-
like the
Right. So does that?
stressor.
Do you think that's a reasonable feeling to have?
I wasn't expecting to be like this close to starting it and to feel this way. Like I was hoping that this semester would make me feel more prepared than I currently feel for my internship, and I don't like this feeling. I don't like
So
I
tell
don't
me
know.
what when you say you don't like this feeling, can you help me understand that feeling?
like so when I used to think about my internship, like I was super excited about it. Like I was excited to get into the clinic, to work, to like actually put all of this theory that I've been taught into
Right.
practice. And I thought that I would have more confidence, I guess. And I guess it's understandable because I'm inexperienced, but I
Right.
don't feel confident. But like I feel like I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Like
Okay.
I feel like at this point I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna bomb it, and it's just gonna end poorly.
So think from it. So when you say you're gonna bomb it, what would you bomb?
I would just fail at being a counselor. I have so many questions. Like, when do I ask this question? How do I ask this question? What types of questions are unacceptable to ask in session? Like, I feel like I have so many questions with so few answers to go along with them.
So can you think back to when you started the job that you have now? And did you have some of those, the same?
No, I was so comfortable going into that job. It was actually insane.
Okay. And why were you so comfortable with that job?
I don't know. I don't know if it was like the people I was with or the people that trained me or what. And it's not really helping the situation that my would-be or should-be supervisor has yet to contact me with the days that I'll be starting. So that can be anywhere between 2 Mondays from now and the middle of October. I think it's just all the uncertainty that's driving me crazy.
Okay, so but are you able to sort of set it aside?
Yeah, like most of the time it doesn't bother me. Like it's not something that I stress on a daily basis. But like there are those days where it's just like fuck, like this is coming coming soon, and I'm not ready for it.
So help me understand, like what don't you think you're ready for?
The job.
So, but I mean, is that reasonable? I mean, it's something that you've never done before. Is it reasonable to feel like you're not ready for it?
Yeah, it's just I feel like I don't really like, because like usually like I know exactly what I'm getting into, and like here it's like I really don't. Like it's a side of the field that I've never actually experienced before outside of practice, and it's like I don't know, it's just
So
it's a very unfamiliar feeling to me. Like everybody has their little bit of nerves before they go into a real job, but this is like full blown. Like I am beyond anxious about this, and I think it's just because it's the career path I'm choosing to go down. And if I do poorly here, then I'm going to do poorly when I graduate.
So what part is making you anxious? So
I don't know. I have this like irrational fear that I'm gonna like get into the practice and my supervisor is just gonna be like, yeah, so like this is not the field for you.
okay, did you hear what you just said? You said you have an irrational fear. So
I know it's irrational.
okay. So
control it. It's just,
So I mean, it's also probably a pretty logical fear. You're going into doing something you've never done before, and you're scared, or like afraid to fail. You've just invested all this time and energy and money into a career that you don't know. You won't know till you sit with
Yeah.
someone whether you're good at it or not.
Yeah, it's
But,
pretty much all it.
Right? So that's a pretty irrational fear. I mean, that it would be kind of, I think it would be more concerning if you were going into it like, I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm good and, you know, I don't need any help. I mean, that's the whole idea of the internship and the hours that you have to commit to do so that you know, but, and I think you have to give yourself some credit that you're doing something new. You could have just said, I'm going to stay in this niche and not, you know, try something.
Part of me wants to. Like, part of me
Of
wants to
course.
just stay at my job and just say, you know what? Who needs a career?
Right.
I can just work here for forever. It's fine.
Right,
Like,
and that's okay. So,
ugh.
but you know, right, then there's lots of people that you work with every day that are have made that decision.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, I think myself in circles. Like, I'm constantly thinking about all of the possible turnouts for the decisions I make, and it's
So is
this
there a
what
way
I
that-
mean by overthinking? Like, I can't not think about it.
So is there a way that maybe we could work on just getting where overthinking something that you have no control over, that you can get to where you just can set it aside?
I think it's definitely something I need to work on because it's not something I'm currently doing, and I think that leads to like a lot of my.
So can you think of
Aggravation.
some ways that, you know, so there's some things that you're talking about that there's just not, that you have no, that it seems like in the time that we've talked that you get frustrated when other people don't meet your standards, whether it's at work, school,
Yeah.
friends, that you have pretty high standards.
Yeah.
And I've said it once before that you're probably going to go through life, if you have one good boss in your whole entire life, consider yourself lucky. That bosses just generally aren't that good. They're not that trained.
She was great, and I miss her.
Right, and you've had one, you know, that's pretty much it. And then you multiply that by
I
nonprofit.
think it's also when things are out of my control. I really
No.
don't like not feeling like I'm in control. I have a very
Well, and there's a lot of things in life that aren't going to be
Yeah.
within your control.
drives me nuts.
And most of them are going to be other people. You can't. So what's the only thing you can control?
Myself, really.
Yeah. And you do a really good job with that. I mean, you work out, there's things that you're very restrictive on your diet, you have your plan, you know, so you've got the things that you can control, you're very diligent about that. But, you know, is there that piece of you that can just stop, you know, when, you know, if we could work on just a way to stop at the, I can't, there's nothing I can do about this today, so
I think
I
I'm
can
getting.
set it aside.
I think I'm getting better at it with work, cause like it just. I have accepted that like there's nothing I can do there. I've done all that I can. There's
Yeah.
nothing more that can be done there, and it just takes a lot of deep breathing and holding my breath and biting my tongue. It's just other aspects where it's just like, it sucks. Cause like especially with schooling, like I've had like those really, really great professors who give really good direction, really good feedback, and then it's like whenever I have those other professors that like haven't reached that level, it's really, really frustrating to me because like I know how great it is. I know that they're like, I know that in other classes I've been able to get so much out of it, and to feel like I'm getting nothing out of it and I'm paying for nothing is really frustrating for me.
Right, but it, and there's probably, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Again,
Yeah.
you at any school, you can't have all perfect professor. I mean, and
I know.
and so-
they're human.
right, they're human. You know, the quality of education is there as much as they can with rubrics and
It's
syllabuses
just
and.
that class is just, I don't know, I'm tired of that class.
But then that's okay. Can you just get, you know, that's what I'm saying, where you can just sort of say it wasn't the best experience, and
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
I
power
think it's
through.
also
I'll
because
get my A, and
I have no
and I'll move
interest in the
on.
subject. Like, it's just, I really hope that I'm not sitting in a room doing assessments for the rest of my life.
Well, so
'cause it'll drive me nuts.
but isn't that great that you learned that
Yeah.
I don't want to do assessments?
Yeah.
Where see, I really enjoyed that class and said I could really do that. So different, you know, that I was like, wow, but I like, so I, that, and then some of it I'm sure was a professor, but that was probably one of my favorite classes, even though it was really hard to do the whole, but it was taught totally different than the way you guys are talking about it now, so it's irrelevant, but the way that I took it was totally different.
Yeah, I like talk therapy. Like, I like.
But so that's
dealing
great
with
that you
puzzle and
right,
figuring
but that
it out.
but
It's just
but that's okay. So you powered through a class, and can you just sort of set it aside and be like, right, right, that you powered
I will
through,
forget
it
it
is what it
existed at
is.
the end of the month.
So when you catch yourself stressing about it, what can you think of things that you can do to just
Remind myself that it's almost done.
yeah.
It's pretty much I've been surviving for this entire semester. Just until September. And then
And
it's over, and then you'll be in your
right.
internship. And
So
then
you just have to
an
meet
online
one more
class.
time, right?
Yeah, at the end of September, and give a presentation on who knows what, because none of this makes sense to me. Like, I think I'm just really frustrated because, like, there's no consistency. Like, I've had to do assessments with this person, then assessments with this person,
Okay.
and then I'm supposed to take it all and put it together into a comprehensive, like,
Mm-hmm.
write-up. And it's just, how am I supposed to do that when
Well, I
this
think you're
person's
just
diagnosis
supposed to-
is completely different from this one's? Like,
But you just sort of make it. I think you just you fake your way through it.
I feel like
I
it
think
would
you
have
just
been
pick
better
one.
if, like, I have classes where we've, like, partnered up with people, and that person was our partner for the semester. We have an equal amount of people, so why didn't we just do that when it made more sense that way? So that I don't know, it was just frustrating to me.
Right. So, but can you hear something like can you just let it go? Like, it is what it is. That's the way the professor decided to do it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, you can't, like I said, you're very smart, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna already have thought of a better way to do things for the rest of your life. But sometimes, like, it's not within your control.
Yeah.
Like, someone once said something to me, and it's probably the most valuable saying that someone ever said. They said, being right doesn't always matter. And I tended to be a right fighter, and I could prove that I was right, but when you're pissing everybody else off or
It's not
getting
worth it,
aggravating,
yeah.
It didn't matter. And the more that you work and have a career, it's in business what they call political savvy. It's being able to deal with stuff that you don't necessarily agree with, but can, choose to be an agent of change without pissing everybody off, or just letting, picking your battles and saying, this is a battle that I'm not gonna pick.
Yeah, I think that's something I definitely need to work on, is just picking and choosing my battles. I'm doing pretty good at work currently.
Right. So just like with school, like, I think, I'd like to see you enjoy that you're almost done with this wonderful it's a very small population of people that even have a master's degree.
Yeah, that's true.
And then within your family, are you probably the most educated person in?
Yeah, my younger brother just started his sophomore year of college. My two of us older siblings have literally done nothing with their lives.
And how about your parents?
My dad was in college, but he dropped out when he joined the Navy, and he stayed in the Navy for like 30 years. And my mom has always wanted to be a mom, so she graduated high school and had her first kid at 19. So,
right. So when you look at that, and if you sat and as an, like, sort of an assessment and like even looked at statistically the odds of you going to college, let alone going to get a master's, let alone having a there is no 4.0 from what I can see. 3.997 is like it, but it is so minuscule. Yeah. And then to be, an African American woman on top of that, when you add that into the statistics, I mean, you really, I just want you to enjoy what you've accomplished.
enjoy it. I don't know.
Well, but what I'm saying, but you're gonna miss it while you're here.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of what you talk about is very future oriented, but you know, that piece where you're so busy with what's gonna happen in the future, I don't want you to miss what's right here and how you can just enjoy.
Yeah, enjoying the moment and
Enjoying
something
that.
I struggle with. I can
Yeah.
definitely admit to that. I'm a very future oriented person, and I'm often more concerned about
Yeah.
what needs to get done next instead of just enjoying what I've done in the moment. So that's definitely true.
All right. Well, I enjoyed our time today, and I'll look forward to seeing you same time next week.
Yeah.
All right. I
definitely.
think that thing's now it's just blinking. Yeah.